Yante Masuba. Good morning, one and all.
Morning to you.
I'm glad so many of you took time out of your busy schedules to meet this morning. It does my heart good.
Mine too.
To see you here this morning.
And on time.
Yes. And on time. On time. Imam Baka just made mention of time. It's here. It is here. We had a very wonderful feast. I hope out of the visitors that we had, we planted some fruitful seeds. And we will see them again in the near future. But we did have a nice time. I know I did. I was a little under the weather, but I enjoyed myself. Life must go on. Things happen. Everything must change. Nothing stays the same. Move on, and by the grace of the Most High, we will prevail.
I'm good.
We will prevail. Because nothing can stand in the way of this great culture. Brothers and sisters, in these trying times that lay ahead, I would like to implore you all to let's do our best to remain a unified front for our community, for our nation, and for our world community. If we come together and maintain a unified front, it's nothing that the forces of divisiveness and evil can do to bring us down or bring us apart.
Yeah.
So, be thou with us, all of ye sons and daughters of the Most High. Today's lecture concerns questions 1 and 2 of lesson 1. Hear what your leader says from the Fahami Catechism. General instructions. Our motto is, praise be unto God and the Fahami Prophet. This simple motto is saying a great deal. A great deal. We as Fahamis must do that first.
Yeah.
We must do that first. We must give thanks and praises unto God, Amun Ra, and his prophet. the Fahami Rasul. Then we are putting our best foot forward. Then we are putting our best foot forward. What is Fahami? Fahami is understanding. What is understanding? Why, understanding is Fahami. So with all thy getting, get understanding. Once again, let your mind expand and gather in all that is worth gathering in around you. Bring it in and make it better. Because Fahami is massive. Fahami is everywhere. Understanding is everywhere. And Fahami means I understand. This is what we Fahamis mean and must show to the world. O my beloved sons and daughters of Allah, the understanding that is Fahami opens the minds of the so-called Negro to the proper identification of self. We say this quite often because the Negro doesn't know who self is. The understanding that is Fahami opens our minds, and it will open their minds to the proper identification of self. That's one of our duties. That's one of our jobs as Fahamis, to instruct our brothers and sisters as to who they really are. It, Fahami, instructs, teaches the mindset of stability and consistency in one's thinking, in the creation and development of the divine Hamitic culture. If we just think about it, think hard, think steady about it, we can set things right and start bringing this divine culture to the forefront of the everyday lives of our people. Black people, you must begin to think constructively and not destructively. Fahami is a scientific move of the gods. Fahamis just don't think, they analyze. They analyze, they want to know the what and the whys of things. Study yourselves, meaning study your history, your geography, meaning where you came from on this planet, and get a few ideas from your noble ancestors and make them new and modern. Fahami is the name of the new Hamite Negro culture. The key words here to be mindful of are name, new, and Negro. Name to signify the change of God, the name of Him, which is Fahami. New for today's world. How to make Fahami fit. How to make Fahami work in today's world. How to make it new for today's brothers and sisters. Hamite, Kimite, not Negro. Fahami designates that it is the new culture of the so-called Negro. For you and your God are one and the same thing. Yeah. That thing is Fahami. Fahami is founded on the background, meaning founded upon the history of our ancestor worship. Negroes, once again, I must say to you, your history is your most prized possession. Make a careful study of your people and their languages. You are a splendid race, a nation magnificent and refined, who being the first and oldest races of men, they have known and experienced all that the rest of mankind has experienced in a social sense. Learn how the Quran and the Bible throws light on the so-called Negro. Study, brothers and sisters. Study. Who are in reality, that's the so-called Negro. The so-called Negro are in reality the gods and goddesses of Kim, but they know it not. Our own saints, saviors, sons of God, our history, philosophy, language, and salvation, and theology from creation up to now. Our own, the blacks' culture and achievements. Study, learn about yourself. Study, pray, learn about yourself. So-called Negroes still have no interest in themselves. They can tell you all day long about European history and American history and Canadian history and so forth, but nothing about the history of the black race. Our culture and our religion and salvation dates back to the pyramids of Khufu, of Giza, the altar to the Lord, the pillar. It is the foundation marker of the earth. It is the tipping point. Most of our people don't know that. But the pyramid is the tipping point. It controls the whole balance of this earth. Because all religions are merely the worship of God coupled with the worship of someone's ancestors. Simple again. Once again, very simple if you understand what we're talking about. Worship God and your ancestors. somebody else's ancestors, or don't worship somebody else's gods or somebody else's ancestors. Yeah. Worship people who are like you and me. Simple, if you're willing to think just a little bit. Fahami is our due reverence for our noble ancestors, ancient and divine. Fahami calls to life only those ancient nobles who have served righteously for God, nation, and family. Due reverence. Once more, pay attention to the historical significance of the actions of your people. Meaning, study what your people are doing. Study what your people have done. It is a monumental guide, a blueprint to the path to greatness that our people once enjoyed until the sons of God met the daughters of men. Oh, we were rolling along so well until we decided to start business with the daughters of men. And things start getting a little complicated. Through our history, Fahami instructs, makes us understand